Imagine Lotus Cobra, but it kills you instead of making mana.
Variants. Yeah, what equipment do I think it would be the funniest for this white man to run around with? And that's your deck.
Yeah, no, this is not offensive at all. I mean, yeah, like, it's a little bit of trans erasure. Come on, like.
So Elk, as we clearly established before, we're going to do all of this review in iambic pentameter as a special gift to the fans. Now, me personally, I don't know what iambic pentameter is, and I'm going to react violently to anybody who tells me I've got it wrong. So chat, just get ready for that.
That's awesome, because I was about to explain it in perfect detail.
All right, so this is a massive set. There's going to be some stuff that we gloss over. If you feel like we are glossing over anything too much, your only form of appeal is to type in chat so that our engagement seems higher. Most of what we're going to try to talk about is any new mechanics that were introduced. Some of the commanders, I think there are like 120 or something legendaries. This is one of the big places we're going to be glossing over everything that is mid. And so if you're like, they didn't talk about my favorite character, that is because unfortunately Wizards hates them and they're bad. This is known as Lionheart syndrome. I am also going to, I forgot to update this. I forgot to make the slide. We're going to pause after commanders to make a new slide just to talk about the crystals because I think they're silly and stupid and I want to force us to speak about them. And then we're going to talk about new good cards in general and then our favorite and least favorite out of the set. So first, job select, which is just, I mean, we've had this mechanic 20 different times. Right?
For Mirrodin!
For Mirrodin! Not mobilize. But I know there's other stuff that is like, like living weapon.
Yeah, there's just some that are unworded. Like I think it's called Heirloom Blade.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, or no, that's the one that turns into Ashmouth or whatever. I forgot. There's it's the one that makes a human soldier.
Yeah, there's a million different ways to do it. I think it's cute that they did it with heroes. I do think almost everything with job select on it fucking sucks. Like this is a draft only thing.
There's one card that I like with it, but yeah.
How about you pull that into the PowerPoint then? I'll scooch over.
In fact, there's two.
There's two.
So we have Black Mage's Rod and Summoner's Grimoire from Job Select, and these two are goated. So this is the first time Black has ever gotten like an effect like this.
Yeah, I should have made a slide to talk about Gutter Snipe becoming unemployed.
Also, Summoner's Grimoire. There's a lot of like really cool play in this. I'm gonna steal this idea directly from Aspiring Spike.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Sven, for the layup here. Fervent Champion is a card in Magic the Gathering, and it says equip abilities that equip this cost 3 less to equip. So when you play Summoner's Grimoire, you can just immediately move it over to the Fervent Champion and then swing with it and then shit something into play. Now, it's the worst Elvish Piper of all time, but if you're some sort of like a Naya equipment deck and you have access to Stoneforge Mystic, this is a way to go grab that Summoner's Grimoire really easily. No, like, yeah, the tutor boy wants the tutor, but legitimately.
I know it's good. It's good. It's
good.
So there's, have you ever watched Disenchantment?
I'm lightly familiar. That's the show that was made by the one Simpsons guy, right?
Yeah,
I'm stupid.
Yeah. And there's a character in it who's a jester who his primary job is he gets like flung out of the king's chambers, and every time he gets flung out of the chambers, he makes this like awful little noise that's this half-hearted sort of self-pitying laugh, and he goes like, "Oh no." And I cannot do it effectively. I don't know why I'm this dumb, but it kills me every time. And every time I hear you reference a useful tutor, it has the exact same impact on my soul. Even when you're right, even when I'm like, yeah, hot tech, this would be good for the deck, I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, this is just me, by the way, justifying the existence of Fervent Champion Summoner's Grimoire because otherwise this is fucking worse than like any other like Elvish Piper you could be playing. But in this exact situation, it's better, and I do value that.
I have tended to start feeling like in a lot of situations in any deck where I would have run an Elvish Piper effect, I'm like, damn, what if I just ran Sky Shroud Claim? and then just cast 7 mana spells over and over.
You're right, but
it's
some people
just
like this thing.
anytime I've been presented with a deck where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll like do something dastardly and I'll cheat something in. I first build a curve that ramps quickly, and I'm like, oh, this is better. Oh, what if I just tapped out every turn for something fucked up? But yes, the Grimoire Champion combo is pretty cute. I'm gonna go to the fucking stock GIF gallery to look for an appropriate reaction. Oh, I found yours.
Yeah, I'm down with this, legitimately.
I think they're cute. I think the Black Mage's Rod is a good example of an overwhelmingly good thing for black, and really for Grixis, I feel like. Like, Rakdos is going to do something with this, but I feel like they're going to find their home in Grixis Spellslinger is about to get 1,000,000 times more playable at low power. Like, you will no longer be as dependent on being able to combo off. You can just be like, oh, well, I have 6 Black Mages, and I take a turn where I cast 3 spells. Oh, James died? Too bad.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Grixis recently. It's been a lot of fun to just like... I haven't been playing like Storm, though. It's been like I drop like a nuclear bomb on your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I could totally see this popping off there.
Reaper's Scythe is also gas. We've had our first lie of the stream. So that is...
the one where each opponent loses life, it gets bigger.
Yeah, it's good for... There's a couple decks that will love this. I think there's a lot of decks that will think they love this and they will be exposed as fraudsters, but I think there are a few like group slug decks where, yeah, you go, holy shit, this honks.
Yeah, it's tough because this enters, you make a 1/1, and then hopefully you drained that turn.
Yeah.
God forbid if you did it.
Hey, if you curve Black Mage's Rod into this,
then
you're fucking cooking. You go Black Mage's Rod, you play this, you ping for 1. This gets
a 4/4.
Yeah, this gets 3 soul counters on end. In Y'shtola, it's really good if you curve into it, and it's really womp womp if you don't. It's like...
Everyone knows that a 3-mana 4/4 is the vanilla test for Commander. You'd play a 3-mana vanilla 4/4 in Commander, right?
I would. I mean, I'm playing... Elk, I built a Vivi deck last week where the goal is I want to hard cast Havoc Eater. I'm playing a 7-mana 3/3. 3-mana 4/4. What are you even talking about?
But like Havoc Eater, like, is actually big enough to like kill people. That's like the giant goad bird, right?
Yeah, it's the big goad bird. I love him. Do you have anything else to say on Job Select?
No, I'm ready for Towns.
All right, stare into the camera. You've been ad braked, YouTube. Okay, Towns. So I titled this. Looks to me like they tried to make caves good. Like they did Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and they were like, wow, these really did not impact anything. And then they were like, what if they actually fixed mana instead of laughed at you as you failed to fix mana?
Whoa, this turns into the worst smuggler's copter of all time. That's incredible.
There's a reason I did not put the backside of this card on the slide.
So, Towns. I mean, like, I like, yeah, I was like, good, cool, I guess. Great, my Planar Nexus has one more subtype, I guess. Like, that's how it's going to impact me. I don't really see a lot of towns that really I fuck with besides the one that's like, it's the Prismatic Vista, right? The starting town?
Yeah, starting town is going to be, so everybody who plays Commander, which should be everybody watching these streams, meet second command tower, basically. I feel like that's how it's going to be used. Like, you just put this land into every single deck you have that's more than 2 colors as a just in case.
Yeah, this is welcome to the $20 to $30 card of the set.
Okay, so Elk, I want to pick your brain on this because I saw CEDH players say, I think there's potential for this fuck ass.
Oh, what your mistake is thinking this is a Towns commander.
Well, I know it's not a Towns commander. I know they're like, oh my god, Amulet of Vigor's on a person? Oh, yeah, oh me, oh my.
I think this card is like a little bad for CDH. I just don't think lands can keep up. And it's like, even like an Amulet of Vigor in the command zone, like this isn't even an Amulet of Vigor, keep in mind. This is a Spelunking. It's not a triggered ability. Part of what's so broken about Amulet of Vigor is the fact that it is a triggered ability that untaps your shit.
I had a friend that I now used to respect deeply post a video about this thing making waves in CEDH, and I immediately DM'd them being like, ooh, I'm Archelaegos, but I have deflecting SWAT, ooh.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I think a win or something like, but I don't think this is gonna like destroy the meta or anything. I think this makes lands slightly better. Like, I don't know. I don't think the splash is that big.
have you considered that it's an infinite mana outlet?
Oh my god, you're right. With infinite mana, you can win the game with this card.
If you,
oh my god,
if
you could never do
simply
that before.
get-
Yeah, I think Lumra, like Cornmaze here says, is just gonna be the better lands deck.
But Lumra doesn't have deflecting SWAT.
You don't need it.
Silly Billy.
We don't need spells where we're going, pal. How do you like lands, man?
All right, let's pull up just some absolutely denigrating. Yeah, this is perfect. Sad Ryan Reynolds. You think target opponent mills half their library is playable?
Yeah, you just like jam it one of in
Cancel this
Brewvac. and it's like,
motherfucker. Oh yeah, in Brewvac. Sure,
yeah, you just put it in Brewvac. Like I think it's the card that I'm gonna see the most. Like it doesn't kill them, but like you have 2 cards left in your library if you don't have a shuffle. So it's like fuck, goodbye, I guess.
Yeah, I mean I think the red one I do think honks. I think more, 3 additional gutter snipes have hit the tower is a meaningful thing for a lot of decks.
I think Lindblom is fine. It sucks because I do think this is just like worse than every land in the world that you could be running instead, and it's worse than like every pinger you could be running instead. Like your deck already has 12 pingers in it if you really care about it. I think I just value the curve more than I value this effect on a land. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to waste a tap land on it.
I agree with you, and I also feel like, oh yeah, Midgar is heat. I finally found the black one. I feel like this is just more baby's first utility land, trying to make them feel more accessible and jingle the keys of being like, no, look, it's a full-on spell that just becomes a land drop later. And I like that that Magic is continually, albeit slowly, trying to address the fundamental problem of land screw fucking blows ass by putting more just like, fuck it, what if the land was also a spell, but it has to be a bad spell and a bad land. And I think they were just really, really careful with this being the first instance of true, like, I
agree. This is gonna be the first cycle, and it's gonna be like, hey, we're playing it real safe.
Yeah.
See if this ruins everything, and if it doesn't, then they can push it a little bit more. When did we see this before? Because we've seen this plenty of times. Because they definitely didn't do it with the fucking channel lands, that's for sure. Fucking Beseiju.
I mean, I'm an idiot who knows very little about Magic history. I think this is the first time we have gotten straight up, do the thing, then get the land, versus like choose a side versus discard the land to get the effect. And so that's part of why I think they were like, hey, these are all going to be stone cold terrible. Because this you don't have to commit, especially like I think the Lindblom is overwhelmingly the best because it's instant speed. You don't even have to make anything resembling a choice with that one. You just hold up mana for other shit, spend it on an end step, play it as your land drop the next turn.
That is a little bit cute that it's an instant.
Like that one is, all the others being sorcery is like crazy.
Midgar's really good still.
Yeah, that effect is just fucking great to have on your land drop. All right, let's begin broaching the commander section where we gloss over like 80 of them. My general opinion is that outside of a few standouts, if it is a monocolor commander, this is not a build around. Stop. You are actively going to have a bad time. It is not, oh, they just need somebody who really believes in Gao like I did.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean Behemoth Sludge. I meant locks it on Warhammer. That's my mistake.
Take these monocolor creatures where their only designation is I have a proper name and put them in your 99 and be infinitely happier. Do you have a different feeling, Elk?
I agree with all of these. Aerith is the only one that I'm like, maybe. But then I remembered that like we also have like 12 other of this creature in mono white too. So like, I don't know. It's like, I don't think you really need any of this.
Tifa, green Tifa, I will agree, is one of the standouts where you can use her as a build around and it will honk, but that's really by virtue of like, hey, it's mono green and it says landfall on it, go nuts.
Yeah, this is turn 3 kill machine. I love Tifa, that's cool. Imagine Lotus Cobra, but it kills you instead of making mana.
And then I will, yes, it turns out the mono black combo twink is in fact playable as your commander. Did you want to
Me and my friend saw like Sephiroth spoiled, and we watched like the Kingdom Hearts video, the clip of Goofy going, isn't Sephiroth the dark part of Cloud's heart? Like 12 times. That shit fucking killed us. It was Sephiroth is decent, I think. I don't think he's gonna explode the game. I think they're gonna be really fucking careful about emblems. And I think that this card isn't going to be it's going to be good. It's Sephiroth. They push this card, of course. It's like pushing Fireball in D&D. Like, they know what they're doing, right? I don't think this is going to break anything. It's going to be good. Let's not, like, burn down Wizards of the Coast. Like, we're okay that this card has an emblem on the back.
Yeah, I think this is just like a immediate bracket 3, bracket 4 deck that you're gonna have fun with. But I've already seen somebody's attempt at building this, and I think it's so easy to flip him and get the emblem, and then the advantage state is pretty good that like it's not going to be CEDH, but it's incredibly happy as a bracket 3, bracket 4 deck. Like, you want to do all of the kind of typical like air quotes busted shenanigans that mono black deck wants to do in terms of an aristocrats combo, and the gates aren't getting blown off. But it's also, if you ever came to me and you were like, this is my silly Sephiroth deck, you are a liar.
Yeah. I think until we get a braid for emblems,
none of this would be possible without support from our highest tier Patreon members, so please join me and Little Nadu as we take a moment to thank Badger King, Sussedin, Christian B, Ryan A, Adam S, Solar Movie, Biggest Dickus, Kyle, Jess HW, Alpha Dog 2064, Crimson Viper, Zelenor, Otterfire, Dad Out for Milk, Kyler P, Bolus Brigade, Derek H, Phelan, B Leave, Dungeon Masters Consortium, Zach G, Bobby Joe Lord, Talamar Von Geist, Troper and their 37 different identities, Bradley T, Bo, Beefcake, and Silky Wilkie. Thank you all, and enjoy the video. Hi everybody, welcome to the Mango Money Moment, a new segment that exists only because YouTube has told us that if their automatic mid-roll placer doesn't believe that my video has enough dead air in it to constitute a transitional phase, they will not put monetized ads in the middle, which can really cut into the editor's leak budget. So we're going to have these moments where we just stop and stare for a little bit.
I'm gonna call that good for the monocolor 2-color.
If anything, we gave them too much time.
Yeah. So let's move to the Precon commanders. I'm gonna do the same sealing motion variance thing we did for Tarkir Dragonstorm. So sealing is like, how good can you make this, either in WotC brackets or just Riz levels. Motion is how cool we think that thing is. Variance is how different, like how unique is your deck for this commander probably going to end up being. So Elk, how good do you think Cloud X Soldier is?
Cloud is good. Is that controversial? I don't know. Card's good. It's really easy to pump this power by 3. You can use the Buster Sword, of course, but you can also use something like Behemoth Sledge. That gives +3/+0, trample, lifelink. And these huge equip costs, Wizards of the Coast got you covered. Cigar Aid, Pure Steel Paladin, right? You're not paying a single penny in equip costs.
Well, and so, it's on him too, right? Like they printed a bunch of things to fix it for you, and he just gives you the equip.
Similar card. One gives +2/+2 though. Yeah. So, Cloud just cheats the equip. Yeah, no, you are spoon fed. The motion, however, I think there's at least a little bit of wiggle room, but no one's gonna use it. So there's like, yes, you can go the Voltron route. That's what everyone's gonna do.
Yeah, that's where the motion is, and I do think everyone's going to be like, wow, that's such a cool idea. Anyway, I put Buster Sword on Cloud, die.
Yeah, that's how this is going to end up. Yeah, I think Nahiri is just the better commander for all the living weapon stuff anyway. There's the 1/6-mana Nahiri that enters, and then you put all the equipment into play, and then you go, boom, die.
I think you're a liar, actually, and I think it is other Sephiroth for that.
Oh, yeah.
Modified becoming 7/5s is like, oh...
Yeah, that is pretty good. I'll agree with you there. I think it's just doing different things. Like Sephiroth is the finisher in the command zone. Nahiri's the value engine in the command zone, right? Nahiri, you draw and cast 6 cards. Oh my god, I made Nahiri very squat there.
Hey.
And Sephiroth kills people.
That's very true. Variance. Yeah, what equipment do I think it would be the funniest for this white man to run around with? And that's your deck. Next, we have Catgirl Prime. I'm gonna lead off. I think the ceiling is fucked up and evil.
Yeah.
I mean, getting it off of anybody losing 4. I got to play with this precon, and holy fuck, people lose 4 life all the fucking time. It's stupid.
Yeah, your Sholta enters, and it's like, you are going to now start killing me unless you want me to win harder.
Yeah.
Like, this feels like a control deck to me. So
Yes.
naturally, you want to beat the control player to death anyway. This screams kill me even harder. Because if you hurt my opponents, you know, I'm going to get even more benefit than if you just hit me. So
yeah. And I want to bring up I want to bring up me being fucking stupid. I'm sure Elk deduced this the moment they played the card, or the moment they saw it. But when I saw this card, I was like, okay, well, you know, I do have to double cast non-creature spells to get this ping going. And then I played with it one time, and I immediately realized how easy it was to just play dipshits that either had flying or first strike, and then you just cast one spell and you tap one person, and then you hold up all your control mana while playing a value spell, and then that's when the deck looks deranged. That's when the deck looks completely fucked up, is when you have like, oh, I have something with first strike so people don't want to block it. I have something with flying so people can't block it. And I play one value spell a turn, probably cost reduced, and then I pass the turn holding up 3 mana, and I tell you to eat shit.
Yeah, it does hamper the instant speed ability of the deck, but even still, just like Phyrexian Arena that actually has upside is pretty nuts. And of course, this is not mentioning even like Necropotence or life payment outlets.
Yeah, before you even get into the combos of it. I think the motion for this is entirely pilot dependent. I think it's a deck where it's so good, the cards in this deck are never going to be interesting, and because you have to be the interrupty person at the table, the ability of this deck to be cool is entirely dependent on your comedic timing. Like if you are affable, people will be like, you're a little dick, and if you're not, people will be like, God, I fucking hate Esper. Holy shit, I hate counterspells so much.
I'm gonna hate you all with the Ghostly Prison plus 99% synergy. This feels like one of these decks where the first 2 editions everyone's gonna do is Ghostly Prison and Propaganda. And I'm just gonna be like, all right.
You want to talk about Sport Boy?
Oh, Titus. This is Laugh Guy, right? That's the Final Fantasy joke.
This is Laugh Guy.
Okay, that's Laugh Guy. I know this guy then. Laugh Guy. So ceiling, I don't want to say Atraxa too. There's certainly some fuckery going on here.
This is my estimation. Do you think this can make it out of bracket 3?
Yes, if you only use Saga creatures.
All right. So talk to me about this bracket 4 Saga deck.
No, I'm saying we can go down to bracket 2.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I wasn't like
Okay.
Oh my god, the Saga creatures with Titus, you can do, there's this 5-card loop that makes infinite turns. No.
Listen,
no.
After the Archaeomancer step through incident of 2024, I've just learned whenever you're like, yeah, this can combo, I just listen. All right.
Okay, listen, if you resolve Primal Odin in a game at bracket 4, you are immediately getting like Ulamog melted. Like your Ulamog's taking your head and ripping it in half. Like you are not winning.
Yeah, I think this is one of those decks where Bant counters in general are so straightforward about the way they gain advantage that they often float to the top of bracket 2, because unlike a lot of other bracket 2 decks, they don't trip over their own dick trying to get good creatures. But then they really struggle as soon as other people are comboing. It's like, oh man, it turns out a 5/5 that becomes a 6/6 is not as crazy as Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah, as soon as you get your first point of infect on all of your opponents, like we're off to the races. This is Thrumming the deck. There's a lot. Like proliferation is just such a versatile mechanic.
Yeah, but who's using it?
I am. Like, I don't know, you can do charge counters, you can do sagas, you can do planeswalkers, you can do, like, I don't know, think of everything that has a fucking counter in this game, and you can do it here. You can do energy. Fuck. Yeah, legitimately. Proliferation's just such a wide mechanic. Yeah, that's the vibe.
I think that's I think that's what happened. Like, it does have endless possibilities, and as soon as you put 1+1/+1 counter thing in the deck and you make that happen, you're like, oh. All right, so moving on to the last one, we have Terra, Herald of Hope. I love, and I kind of love because I don't think the ceiling is that high.
Yeah, no, ceiling lower than Alesha.
Because they were just like, hey, what if we made Master of Cruelty's combo not the best possible thing to do? Islor, thank you for the 100-bit bribe to be nice to Terra. You did not have to bribe us, but I am keeping the money because I think we both like this commander, right? Like, this is dope.
Yeah, no, this is not offensive at all. I mean, yeah, like, it's a little bit of trans erasure. Come on, like, I don't like the spoon-fed trance ability. In my opinion, you need to find your own fucking way to fill your graveyard, pal. The fact that this feeds its own graveyard and like has the payoff is just like, all right, it's a Precon commander. All of them are gonna do the draw card, and then you can like do something stupid, right? Because they want people coming into the game to feel like they're having a good time. But I legitimately do like when it's like Alesha and you need to like fill your own yard, or like, like when it doesn't do the payoff and setup.
I'm a little bit of two minds about it because the more commander I play and the more commander decks that I look at for other people, the more I feel like motherfuckers just have no idea how to develop a floor. Like, everybody can take a commander archetype or a commander and come up with some pie in the sky cookery dream of like, if I'm allowed 10,000 years and 50,000 mana, I can do this really, really cool combo. And a lot of people either don't want to or legitimately don't have the time to invest a lot of like thought into the game to figure out how do I make sure my commander deck always has a like minimum acceptable level of playability. And I think as long as the fill ability, like this trance ability, is not that good, it is better for the like bracket 2 health of the game to have more built-in floors, or you could call it a safety net of just like, you cannot fuck this up. You can't break this, but you cannot fuck this up, I promise.
So motion, I mean, there's a little bit here. It's mostly going to be like, what's the most egregious thing with power 3 or less? But you can do like, stacks, like little weenies, like, I don't know, there's some variance there.
Yeah, I think the motion is this is just like nice. You don't want to cook too hard, but you want something that's going to is going to cook a little bit. You're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to take some game actions. Hell yeah. Variance on Terra is, unfortunately, I feel like this is it if you're going higher power. I think you can do more graveyard shenanigans in lower power with other stuff, but when I looked at potential targets for this, shocking how good this works is just Angel's Commander. Now I'm gonna move into, so I picked 4 commanders I really liked, and then I left some slides open for you to throw them up, and then if chat complains enough, we will look at other specific commanders in there. So the first one I really liked is Other Terra. This is 5-color Saga, ETB Mill 5, and so of course the CEDH players huffed their copium about oh my god, food chain outlet, oh my god. But what I like is making stupid fucking copies of stuff, because if you flip her, you get to either copy sagas, or you can just copy non-legendary enchantments, and I'm just fucking dreaming of Primal Odin every turn, throw it over your head.
Yeah. Once again, it's amazing that we got 2 of these, just 2 Wooburg commanders that are also just 2 colors to cast. My favorite design of all time.
Never gone wrong.
Yeah, so no, but legitimately what I like about this is it's Tom Bombadil, but it actually kills you.
Yes. Oh my god.
I'm so tired of the Saga player having a 20-minute turn and they move all their spin downs around and they put stuff in their graveyard and they cascade into another Saga and they go, ooh, spin down on this one. Yeah. This trigger happens. And then the result of all this is that we lose 3 life.
Yeah, Tom Bombadil. I'm very glad that they learned from the errors of oh, what if we don't make him incredibly onerous to cast and also do very, very little. So yeah, I think this is hot. I think the ceiling is, I'm not even going to do a funny thing for this. I genuinely CEDH playable. I don't think it's going to crack the meta. I don't think it is going to be the go-to thing, but it hits the bare, it's all 5 colors and hits the bare minimum of is part of a combo in the command zone to kill everybody, which is enough that if you think it's really cute, yeah, you can play this in CEDH, which is about as high as the ceiling gets. I think all of the motion is contained in hee hoo hoo Odin time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you do with it if it's not a summon, or I'm not sure what cool things you do with it.
Hang on, I need to check something really quick. So you can run counter removers to get the first 3 abilities repeatedly, so like Hex Parasite and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can run Urza Saga to get them easily. And then so you have them every game, basically counter removers, and then you run something like Time of Ice or Phasing of Zalfir, and you can run the world's like most degenerate like phase out engine where you make a copy of the Phasing of Zalfir every turn, and then you remove the counters from it, and you just keep phasing out non-land permanents until the Phasing of Zalfir leaves, but the Phasing of Zalfir never leaves.
How did you ruin this?
Me when I face Zalfir. This is the best Teferi roleplay deck. You can do it, Maud. I've been trying to make it work with Chisei Heart of Oceans, but finally there's a commander that does it even more degenerately.
All right, let's move on to the next little boy I like, who we had the super chat on YouTube about earlier. Kuja, Genome Sorcerer. I think this is like, hey, what if I want to play Rakdos and I want to cast a lot of spells, but I don't want to have a Stormwind con? And it's so end step, you make a fucking gutter snipe, and if you have a lot of gutter snipes, he becomes something that's not really important because you have 4 gutter snipes. Oh, never mind, it's super important.
He makes them into actual gutter snipes.
You get a damage doubler.
He makes them all 2 damage. Yeah, I mean, this is just, is it but Rakdos, right? This is like, like I think the variance is Judith too. For me, it's like, you know, Judith, not the Scourge Diva, but the, I like to call her,
yeah, Carnage Connoisseur. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that one. Me and one of my most common supporters, Ruby, who has a deck with Judith Carnage Connoisseur, we both just call her Shit Judith. She's not Shit Judith. She has plenty of fine play patterns, but I like Judith the Scourge Diva better, so we just call her Shit Judith.
That's so fucking funny.
I think if you showed me the 99 of a Judith deck and then the 99 of a Kuja deck without showing me the commander, it would be a coin flip whether or not I get it right every time.
For Carnage Connoisseur? For
Yeah,
Judith?
yeah.
I see, every list I've seen for that is on all board wipes, and I feel like the Kuja decks aren't gonna do that.
Oh, no. Like, maybe that's a tell. The best way to play Judith is Phyrexian Altar Storm. So you just go like, cast a spell, sack the imp, cast a spell, sack the imp, cast a spell, sack the imp, cast a spell. So Judith is a cost reducer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It is disgusting.
Next, we're going to move on to a guy I found this morning while working on the PowerPoint. Zandy Darkmage. The 3/3 with Menace gets +1/+1 for each non-creature, non-land in your graveyard, and I was just instantly in love with the spell sling into Ding Ding. Boxing round begins.
Oh my, no, traumatize.
No, that's, why'd you keep ruining the things I love? I know you can mill, but I don't want to. I want to
traumatize yourself and then fling him with the black flings that exist. Yeah, no, this just not Umbris 2, but it's like way more controllable.
It's Umbris 2, but because it's your shit, people don't freak out.
Umbris, but you don't have to play like 7,000 awful horrors in your deck. I see you laughing. You agree with me.
Umbris, but not horrifying.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, see, my brain went where Arya went, which is you get a control deck, and then you have a guy that's just big and beefy and can help you win the game eventually. I think the variance is like, unfortunately, hold on. I'm going to say bodybuilder flexibility. This man cannot stretch. Like, he cannot touch his toes. He cannot touch his hands to his own shoulders.
This is Right of Consumption's #1 fan.
In my mind, even though you can do much stronger stuff with it, it fits in my brain the same place Kuja does, where it's like, oh, now I can do Dimir stuff and bracket 2 and not feel like I'm stalling the game because I'm also swinging a menacing 10/10, which is what, like, it's green player camouflage for Spellslinger players.
This does feel an awful lot like Dimir Melik Reforged Researcher. That's the one that gets double power and toughness equal to the number of instants and sorceries in your graveyard. So yeah, if you want to run a Dimir like control version of Melik instead of an Izzet control version, then you have your man right here now.
All right, let's take it to my favorite little man of the set, who we already know the ceiling. I'm gonna shut up about I'm just not even gonna talk about it. Yes, curiosity is broken as fuck on this guy. It turns out letting them be a mana dork who grows their own power, who also pings everybody in Izzet, was not the safest thing you could ever do. It's very good. I simply do not care about that. I wish to use him for Izzet Stompy, and that's all I'm going to use him for, but I do shout out all my CEDH crackheads who will be storming off with him.
You know, like, listen, I think it's actually really brave, this design from Wizards of the Coast. Why doesn't WotC PayPal me $1 every time I cast a non-creature spell? Why don't I get a job every time I cast a non-creature spell? These are lines of text they could have easily put on the card, but they opted not to. So much restraint shown here. What fucks me up about this card is the most powerful play pattern you can do with it is activate Vivi and then just cast a fuck off spell during her turn. And then you leave up all of your real mana for counter matchup.
Right?
You cannot fucking interact with this shit unless you fucking snipe him in the fucking crib. All right? The second this person casts Vivi, direct cradle to grave, motherfucker. You are gone.
So I'm going to call this truly Izzet purity test. I think there are so many. I have like 40 amazing cards that you get to play with Vivi because they can get you so much mana that it's totally stupid and unreasonable to play in any other deck. It's just gorgeous, and I know that most people are just going to be like, I have now discovered that Ophidian Eye exists, and I'm going to make it everybody else's problem.
Yeah, I'm going to put this in variance infinite, but in parentheses derogatory. When you have a card that does everything.
Yes.
It can do everything. I guess, like, it's like bread goes with just about any food. I'm not impressed you made a different sandwich than the one I made. You know?
Is there a commander you are excited about from the set, Elk?
So I don't know if I'm going to build any commanders from the set. That being said, we need to talk about, like, this piece of shit, right? This guy I want to be mad about this design, but legitimately, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, this card does a lot, but it doesn't like make me want to explode.
Is this a Golby's nuts joke?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's also just actually a good card.
So I have not seen this guy yet. So it's Surveil 1 on ETB, and then
on Artifact Enter.
And then you get to rehandimate, and then you can make people lose life if you have just a fully shit ton of artifacts.
Yeah, this is the Dimir artifact boy. And listen, the ceiling, of course, like, let's not even, it's treasure, right? So, like, whatever, get that out of the way. That's the boring way to build them. More interesting way, the motion. I love Tesarette. Like, this is like the perfect deck. You just jam, oops, all Tesarettes, and you just do all the Dimir artifact bullshit. You animate artifacts here and there. You drain people equal to your artifacts. You cast like fucking Darksteel Reactor. Like, it just sounds fun. And I wanted to hate this design.
You are twerking like a marble slab right now. I love Tesarette, you piece of shit. Am
I wrong though? Like, this is just like kind of fun as like Dimir artifacts if you don't build it in the boring treasure route.
I think that's one of the things where I have to recuse myself, because for me, playing a artifacts deck is interchangeable with Quaaludes. Like, I will just, it's Sleep Aid.
Oh man, did you like the big
aid.
man from New York? The Quaaludes video? Please tell me you've seen it.
I do not know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, Mauled, there's no way. That's like internet history. There's a guy called the big man from New York, and he fucking screams into his microphone, and he had like a fucking 3-minute bit about Quaaludes, where he's like, motherfucking Quaaludes, bring them back! And that's how I feel with Golbez here, man. What's so wrong with Quaaludes, man? Non-narcotic, non-addictive, man.
Yeah, I don't find him offensive. I feel like there's some fucked up stuff you could get up to, but it's probably the idea that Golbez is in any way broken sounds to me like those people in movies who, like, a really tall and narrow thing is falling towards them and they run along the longitudinal axis instead of latitude to just get out from under the side of it. You know, like that trope of like, oh, a 10,000 foot tall and 1 inch wide building is falling and they run away, but they only run away in the shadow of the building and get hit instead of like 2 feet to the left. That's what it feels like if you ever go, oh, Golbez is so strong.
Yeah, the best part of Golbez is the first ability. Full stop. Whenever an artifact enters Surveil 1, if you shit out artifact tokens and Surveil 1 23 times,
yeah,
that's great. But the rest of Golbez literally makes the game end, and it keeps the engines turning, and it's what I expect from a commander. I like the lose life art of this card so much. Anyway, I do have another one, and chat was already mentioning it. I'm not going to name the Kefka that people are imagining, though. This is a shout out to my friend Christian. Kefka Dancing Mad.
Oh, I love this guy. I don't think I'm going to make him a commander, but I love this little asshole.
My friend Christian's calls it, and I quote, Graveyard Atali. Right, so that's the motion. And of course, Atali has infinite motion because you play with your opponent's cards. The ceiling of this card, something I like to call the mill and sculpt, or the discard and sculpt. So you target someone with Thoughtseize, and then you like exile all the other cards they put in their graveyard with something like a Lord of Bones or a Withered Wretch. Just these targeted graveyard effect cards that like, or Ghost Vacuum, right? Like all these effects that say exile target card from a graveyard. You 100% control the variables, and then you only steal the good shit with Kefka. Yeah, exactly. Like an Honored Heirloom.
Yeah, I'm gonna shill for a bad card real quick. One of my favorite fucking 3-mana rocks, where the upside is just a little bit of graveyard hate. But yeah, I like that. I like the idea of we could either wheel people, we could like mill people, and then a lot of your deck is just, okay, well, all this stuff is bad. Yeah, I'm going to forcibly Tassiger you.
Yeah, okay, hang on. Area is saying Withered Wretch in 2025, pack it up, Unk, but I mean this legitimately. Withered Wretch still has legs. The fact that it's one generic as a collector ooze effect in a black, so like you don't have green.
Oh yeah, this is tight.
Yeah, so like Withered Wretch, what I like about it most though is you can target your own graveyard with something like Tormod. I actually played it recently in a Tormod Ramirez brew, like literally a year ago. I put Withered Wretch in. It's one of the best cards in that deck.
You're selling me on that a little more. I think it is like...
Oh, 100% like for fun. Also saw in half the deck, by the way. Like very good. This will be the last Mander I talk about here. They finally let Mono Red draw cards. This guy draws so many fucking cards. It's unreal.
Yeah, this is getting high red devotion is easier than most people would think. And it turns out you can just vomit your hand and then play this man and be like, holy fuck, I got a free mulligan.
It's like actually a personal Wheel of Fortune. That's how good this card is. And the best part about this, what makes it better than personal Wheel of Fortune, is you could just like any Twin Flame. I'll just do it again.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh my gosh, the horror. Especially you just put this in the command zone and you just have like Made in Heaven Fanatic Amogus, you know, just like you just win off that, man. I think it already beats a Precon. Let's be a little bit
I
real.
don't believe. I think your deck beats a Precon. I think if we did the Family Feud test and we took 100 people who had played Magic for at least 1 year and locked them in a room and had them build a Clive deck and they had to beat a Precon or be shot, we would be burying 95 bodies.
I'll add to the ceiling. This is a Mono Red deck's 99 strongest soldier. But yeah, I think there's a little bit of motion here because I really do like the add 4 red on the back.
It is a 9/9, which is nice. I feel like for the most part, people are just going to get lost on like, how do I create sufficient damage pressure in red when my command zone is not helping as much as I think it is? Like, I don't think this guy's going to be a good Voltron threat. I do think he's going to be phenomenal for, hey, I Twin Flame Fanatic of Mogus, you all take 58 damage, and you all die. And I think if people can't put together a reliable machine for that, they're going to be like, wait, why does my Cleave deck suck? All right, so let's move on to Standard Players Huffing Copium. This is sourced from Reddit comments. The two cards I have seen people talking about are Self-Destruct, which is not going to work, and Summon Fenrir, which is also not going to work. Self-Destruct was brought up with respect to like mice aggro, and I feel like some people are going to try this and just immediately realize, hey, holding up 2 mana and aggro is actually way too fucking much, and then they're gonna fall over dead. I saw somebody with no hint of irony suggest Summon Fenrir is gonna be playable because you can do Llanowar Elves, Summon Fenrir, play a 6/6.
I like Self-Destruct as a card, but like this being said, I don't know next to nothing about Standard besides the fact that it's built around 3 uncommons, Stock Up, Up the Beanstalk, and I forgot the third one because I literally played Standard and look at it so infrequently.
Corey Steelcutter!
There you go, yeah, Corey Steelcutter's the third card. But yeah, no, I mean this legitimately, the only bad format I play is Commander, so... Like, I don't have time for Standard, you know?
Yeah, I've tried to play Standard multiple times, and it's been, I think some of the least fun experience I've ever had while playing a game in my whole life. I'm not sure if there are other cards that people think are going. I mean, I'm sure there will be stuff that is fun to play at your locals, but in terms of impacting the top end of standard, the good stuff is so good, and there's so many of them that ain't shit happening. Oh, and then before we get into the bangers, I want to talk specifically about crystal healing.
Yes, crystals.
And I want to pull in the fucking dumb crystal cycle. Elk, I will give the floor to you if you want to give first impressions on We Are the Rocks.
Yeah, so it's tough because some of these I like more because they're just cost reducers in their color, and others I like because of their effects. So Earth Crystal's automatically at the back of the line. It's not even remotely close.
I think everything but water is doo-doo ass.
I don't know, because I like water a lot. I think water's easily the best design out of them. I like that it's making Mill at least somewhat playable now. Like we're to the point where it's not like a joke. Like it's
Right.
I at least laugh at the joke.
Just
Earth Crystal is so out of this conversation. I'm just gonna like move it over here.
That's very real of you. I feel like if you play any crystal but water crystal, it is the equivalent of just slapping a name tag on that says I am bottom of bracket 2.
And red uses the cost reduction just the best. That's just the long and short of it. And the creatures you have haste is nice little upside in the creative token. That's a copy of a thingy. That's also, you know, like playable. Like this would be very good, like I mentioned before in the Clive deck, where you go Clive. Oh look, I can activate him right away. I can also like make a token copy of him right away with the fire crystal after I do my ritual bullshit. It also is 2 red devotion. It also makes him cheaper. It's like this is great. The fire crystal. It actually is doing some work. The wind and darkness crystal are tied for me. I like the darkness crystal as like a ley line of the void ish kind of effect. It's less that and more of like a stone of Eric. Very, very good effect. Cannot be understated how good that is. But also just like black cost reduction is very good with the Sararak, which is just like, this is what makes black use it the best. Sararak bounces himself back to your own hand. He loves those cards. So black is going to use this very well. I think in terms of effect, it's slightly less than the Wind Crystal though, just because the rocks face bender style effects in like an Orzhov deck where you go, okay, great. I gain double life. I Beacon of Immortality myself and I thermonuclear bomb you for like 60. Like that's a real pattern of play that the Wind Crystal can enable very well. I would not put the Wind Crystal in a Soul Sisters deck. I would, however, put it in a deck that has those Beacon of Immortality style effects, those Exsanguinate style of effects, because it's just so explosive with large amounts of life gain like that. Anyway, that's my entire crystal roundup. I'm interested to hear what you say, brother.
You're selling me on the other ones. I think for the fire crystal, I'm sympathetic to the storm route. I think if you're doing anything but storm, these are just like incredibly declarative of like, I'm here to fucking hang out outside of individual interactions that are quite strong. Like the only reason water crystal is up so high for me is not even because it turns mesmeric orb on, but because it makes everything that wants to piecemeal mill suddenly relevant. Like I'm gonna put fucking water crystal in Mothman and wow, that's so much better now. All right, let's get into stuff we love.
I mean, I have a few already picked out.
Perfect. So do I.
Yeah, I figured.
Non-legendary. These are all legal game actions I'm doing here.
Some are calling it good Phyrexian Arena.
All right, I'm putting the Buster Sword up here. This is my I will not force us to have a 45-minute argument about this versus Feast and Famine or this versus other equipment. I think this is the first equipment we've gotten in a long time that you can consider playing in a deck with no equipment synergies. And I think that is great because it also does not come close to being bracket 4 playable. And I think that is a good middle ground.
I could rage bait here and say, like, ooh, Sword of Feast and Famine is actually better. I think ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, if you care enough about equipping an object and then attacking with it, both would be perfectly reasonable answers. Even Fire and Ice is a great answer. That 2 damage ping is very substantial. Just like, oh, I'm gonna like spot remove your dork. That's a very big cascading effect on the game.
As a thought exercise, I have begun putting it in every bracket 2 and 3 deck I have built. and it's always good.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I really do enjoy the Buster Sword. Yeah, like you said, I like that it's I don't know. I'm kind of into it. I was originally pretty lukewarm on it, but like I get the appeal now.
What's your next banger?
Summon Knights of the Round, baby.
God.
This card's cool. I like that the Saga player now has to kill me. I like that the Saga player
at long last.
At long last, the Saga player is gonna kill me, and I'm very happy about that. And besides that, I really like that the last mode isn't just night creatures you control. It gives it to all of your creatures, and this feels like a legitimate like build around. Like if I wanted to make this really like the star of the show, I'm going to put in some sort of proliferate deck, and then I need to find a way to cheat that Saga out into play because I'm not going to pay the full 8 for it. But even if you just pay 8 mana for this, you don't feel robbed in a casual like bracket 2 to 3 game.
And Arya is mentioning another one that I really liked. I saw this while trying to help work on an Emmett Selk deck, but it was Memories Returning, which is another fact or fiction-esque effect. It's only sorcery, which is going to gate it a little bit, but it also gives you flashback. And it's basically top 5, but I always get 3. And I always get the best one.
Yeah, you always get the best one, and then you get the 3rd best one, and then the 5th best one.
Yeah. I read it as 4 mana, I get the best card out of the top 5, and then I probably get a land, and then I get a loot box, which is probably terrible, but who cares? Like, this is just, if you ever resolve Memories Returning and you're unhappy, you made a bad deck.
Yeah, I think I agree with that assessment. I like that you do get the best one. That's a big part of Fact or Fiction, because Fact or Fiction, they put the best one in a pile by itself.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, here's like a mana rock, a dork, and like 2 lands.
If it let the opponent tuck first, I would be way less up on this card, but it letting you pick first and then you get 2 more things out of it. Oh, like probably going in every casual blue deck that needs to refill its hand.
Yeah, this and Stock Up are like brother sister.
Oh yeah, this and Stock Up are so good.
Fun design coming down the pipeline. Shadow, Mysterious Assassin. 3/3 Death Touch. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice another non-land permanent. If you do, draw 2 cards, and each opponent loses life equal to the mana value of the sacrifice permanent. So it's like you want to like put giant things into play and then sack them so you blow up your opponents. This is like if Yuriko was fun.
Yes, I do love it. I do think just to slow down anybody in chat who's already opening up Moxfield, I feel like this man is in 99 solitary. Only because I feel like the stuff you can do with him gets so much better once you add any other color that's also good at cheatery. Black is certainly not devoid of cheatery, but I feel like if you give this Golgari, Rakdos, even fucking Dimir, your ability to honk with him gets even better. So we can put him up on screen just for me to kill him, but this is, you can look at top card, you can play lands, cast bird spells. If a land or bird entering triggers, you get an extra trigger. So it's double landfall triggers for free, and hey, you can play it in Choco.
Yeah, this is like the most overrated card I've ever seen, maybe.
It's
like, okay, this is the most win more thing in the world. The only interesting application I've ever heard for it is it double triggers your amulet of vigor. Because a land entering tapped is a trigger and this will double the trigger from the amulet. So that's pretty decent.
What really drove my thought home on this card, because I saw it and I was like, okay, yeah, double landfall, whatever, I'm going to be sad. My girlfriend and I built a Choco deck, and Traveling Chocobo was in it, and we cut it. After like 30 playtests, we were like, actually, dude's just terminally fine. You know who we cut this fucking guy for? We cut Traveling Chocobo for this card because we were like, oh, this guy's way cuter. This guy's so fucking. We made the analytical decision of it will bring us more joy to be able to use a deck that can play River Hoopo than it will to just fucking pray to God that we get some fucked up double landfall benefit.
I'm gonna hit you with a little bit of a truth nuke.
Okay.
And this is just like a fact that proves that opinions change. Garland's here.
Oh no. Yeah, are you gonna say the word storm in your sentence defending this man?
I literally just think the second Dragon's Rage Channeler is just good. And I think paying 100% more mana is just fine for that effect. Like, it's fucked up that Dragon's Rage Channeler is 1 mana, and the fact that it's 2 mana and still good is just like really a testament to how broken Darcy is. So let's not compare it even to Darcy. This card's just good.
Emmett Selk of the third seat is my new bestie. This is like I really want to do like bracket 3, bracket 4 control shenanigans with this guy. And the most boring part about it is that the win is probably always going to be some type of combo thing. Like maybe you can Black Mage ping into double Exsanguinate, double Torment of Hailfire, but it's probably not going to be that.
I looked at an Emmett Selk deck recently on stream, actually, and there was no combo in that deck. It tried to win with like I advised if you didn't want to go combo-y with like Shieldred wheels and stuff, because Shieldred's very good with this card. Shieldred's just good, of course, but the synergy is like they draw a card and they lose 2 life. You can cast a spell.
Known commander combo: Shieldred and Breathing.
And the interesting thing with Emmett Selk here is if you don't want to do that, you can just like go Dimir big spells, and you can go like Rite of Replication a creature. That's basically game winning a lot of the time, because 5 copies of any ETB will just explode the table. All right, this is my final like banger card. It's the I'm torn. I'm torn because on one hand, the design's cool. I like the design a lot. I like any sort of effect like this that can just take over a commander game without going infinite. But the other thing I hate is if you like someone's gonna fucking kick Rite of Replication this and then start like populating the tokens and then go like, hey guys, let's start counting my infinite tortoises damage tracking individually.
Right. They're going to go like, well, this doesn't go infinite, therefore it's funny to do a ton of, therefore let's pull out the abacus.
Yeah, exactly. Like that first sentence, if there's like 50 of these on the battlefield, Magic is not meant to support this. When this card was spoiled, I literally was like trying to build a deck around it, like a Pariah style, like Pillow Fort deck with Imperial Archangel, and like literally give this thing indestructible. Like, what are people gonna do against your indestructible ancient adamantoids?
My indestructible BBL.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sure, yeah, exile it, but like in like bracket 2 or 3, that's like good enough to win the game.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm down to get down to clunkers, of which there are very few, by the way, for me.
Yes, let's go to clangers. What's your first hateable elk?
This card is really just bad.
Oh,
it does everything so poorly.
But he's
I mostly want to put it here to like highlight some like god tier rage bait that was posted on Twitter. So like, this card's broken, right? Why is it legendary? Oh, I hate it already. I fucking love this post so much because this card's so dog shit.
Yeah, it is.
This is incredible rage bait. I've never seen it better.
Children's power fantasy of a broken Magic card. But it's like, it's just so okay. Not even broken good, but it's just like, I don't know, just inject the high fructose corn syrup directly into my brain at this point. What if we built your power for you and we gave you a bunch of Boy Scout merit badges about how good you are at fighting?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just cookie cutter, right? Yeah, it doesn't piss me off as much. You know what pisses me off? Fucking, we should start killing Yuriko players. I'm about to like break into Wizards of the Coast, and I'm about to like put out like an update through their system that's like eroding Yuriko commander tax. Like Commander Ninjutsu's tax now.
Fuck this little thing. The reason I don't like it is I think this is a situation where they played it so safe that they've made it so narrow as to always be incredibly boring. Because you have to hit a non-creature spell and you have to get back specifically that value in Azorius, which is doable if you are on dipshit weenies at like 1 to 3 mana. And I think the rest of the time, like you're watching somebody lose a wrestling match with their own calculator.
I love design mistakes like this though, because it's legitimately like, okay, I'm gonna play my Swords to Plowshares on your commander. I'm gonna get back my Kami of False Hope. I'll play my Kami of False Hope. I live for that magic. So, okay, there's a good way to use this card, and then there's the way that everyone's gonna use this card. The way everyone's gonna use this card: 5 mana board wipe, my turn's over. Fucking like legitimately encouraging the worst like play pattern for a fun game that board wipes can have. One of the best things about board wipes is either like blasphemous acting and then redeveloping a board, or cyclonic rifting on an end step before your turn. That's even healthier than just I wipe and pass my turn. Because you've created parity, sure, but you've not created advantage that wins. What I like about Ultima is if you can instant speed it. That's funny.
Because I was thinking about this, and I'll be making a ton of shorts about it as well. I really think they should just white out this card and say, board wipe, but I know an Aristocrats player.
Yeah, it exiles all the death triggers, which is huge.
Right.
But,
and so there's like there's one specific brand of player where this is like, you put this in instead of Wrath of God because you have to go play against Toby, and holy fuck, are you tired of playing against Toby? I was mad. I'm a big enough person to admit that I was mad as fuck. I liked having when green had to be locked behind sorcery speed, can't. This being able to be a response to removal. I'm trying to grow as a person, but it makes me so goddamn angry. I realize like 6 mana is quite a lot of mana to have fizzle into nothing because I shot your good creature. But this being able, and like 6 mana is a lot to hold up in case somebody's gonna like, intellectually I get it, right? Intellectually I get it. Emotionally I'm like, fuck you, that's my card super type. You make this a sorcery right now.
Yeah, the reason why this is worded to be as you cast the spell instead of you get blown up by a removal spell is because it's already instant speed. And the reason is actually like a really minor gameplay thing, which is like, it's trying to like shore up the bad case of using this as a sorcery speed button. Because if you sorcery speed this and someone in response swords to plowshares, you basically wasted the instant mode of this, right?
Yeah.
Because you could have, exactly. So it's that's the reason why. And people are mad about it a little bit, and I'm like, it's okay. I don't think this is that big of a deal. Green's already doing bullshit. This is not that much bigger of a bullshit on the pile.
This is just like the 87th tier of the green is heavy air quotes OP and casual and dog shit as you climb up the rafters. Like there's a ton of situations where this is going to get played in somebody's bracket 2 commander game, and it's going to trump removal in that they're going to draw like 12 cards or whatever, and they're going to gain 24 life, and they're going to be like, oh my god, green's so fucking broken, and then I'm going to get one more fucking YouTube subscriber and the world's going to keep spinning, baby. All right, are we ready for just more corn syrup directly to the brain? I don't even know if this is new. It genuinely might not be. It genuinely could be. That is how fucking distinguishable this effect is from everything.
Oh, finally, Bristly Bill's gonna drop $2.
The 85th Bristly Bill effect has hit the tower. And then, oh man, you missed all your creatures? Well, here's a mana dump. I do want to bring up one absolute fucking heater that I missed. Taru. Somebody in chat was asking about this, if it's in group hug jail. This is I'm gonna go out on an incredibly short limb. CEDH usable if you're smoking crack, and high power usable if you are totally sober. Because giving a little bit of targeted group hug that is notably flickerable and is going to give you tapped treasure tokens, like the better your game gets, the more likely it is somebody is drawing cards on somebody else's turn. And if you just get one extra tap treasure a cycle off of this guy, you are so happy. Like this goes in, this is not group hug jail. This is this man is the warden. Like if he'll be great in group hug, and he will just be phenomenal as a value grind piece for like Esper imagination.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Lauren and like all these other effects in white that are just like, yeah, exactly. Like oh wow, and I Rex Sage the thing, and now it's a treasure generator and a card advantage engine. Like wow.
So I'm going to hit the start raid button. That's going to be it for today. Thank you again, Elk, and thank you to everybody who watched today, who followed, who subscribed, who cheered. I appreciate your support very, very much, even if we were getting quite caught up in the middle of it.